My name is Samuel Olekanma. Today, I have something very important to share with you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samuel Olekanma. Today, I have something very important to share with you, my audience. I'm kind of today in a little bit of a different environment with bigger camera, but the topic is still remain the same. And by the time you finish this lesson, by the time I conclude this topic, I'm gonna not only make sure that you did not waste your time, but I'm gonna make sure you leave here today with a gift. I'm gonna give you a digital copy of my books free of charge. These books are sold in Amazon and everywhere books are sold. So, but that's for you if you stay to the end of this podcast, this video, this my message. I'll give you a link somewhere between this video. I'm gonna put a link where you can click to get a. Remember again, I say digital copy, not the physical copy, the digital copy where you can download a copy of my book free. Okay, again today, as we're coming towards the end of the year, I'm gonna share something very important. Before we proceed, I'm gonna do a big quick disclaimer. My experience of what I'm gonna say now is particularly to myself, and based on my experience, based on my input, based on my perseverance. I do not guarantee that because it worked for me, it will work for you. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not licensed in anything. You're going to do your own due diligence, consult any licensed professional in your arena before you take any of my advice. So that's a big disclaimer. I have to do this. My lawyer told me to do this, so I have to do it. So now that we get that off the way, I'm going to proceed. I have a series of offers I'm going to present today of my product. Most people ask me, dude, what actually do you do? What are you selling? You talk a lot, you do this, you do that. What is your main core product? Well, most of you already know I'm a licensed correctional officer. I've been working as a correctional officer for getting to two decades now. So that arena, I've been doing it, and I think for me to be doing it for over about 20 years now, I must be good in what I'm doing. Anything you do, even if you're a dummy, even if you don't know nothing and you can do it for straight 20 years, you must have had some kind of expertise or expert knowledge on one of it. Otherwise, it won't last long. One of the book I read told me that for you to be an expert in any niche, in anything, all you have to spend about 10,000 hours. Anything you can spend up to 10,000 hours, you obviously know more than average do in that field. So I can say, obviously, I'm an expert on that area, but that's not the purpose of my coming here today. My coming here today and what I'm going to share with you, hopefully in the next 60 minutes is, like I said, about my key product. And I'm going to start with my first published book. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if the camera can see it, but that's it's called I Have Bread. It's also sold in Amazon. This is the history. Why I love this thing is that I started with the Word of God. It's my first published book that is in the market. I talk about my experiences, what I understood to be the meaning of bread, and what impact bread, being the Word of God, has in my life. I self-published this book, and probably today I will have done it much better. But like everything beginning in life, it's always raw. It will not be perfect. You don't wait until you perfect everything before you get it started. So actually, I have a better copy of this book already on the market. This is the original copy, original version of the book. I'm actually recalling this one and facing the new one. So if you have this original copy, actually I'm buying it back. If you can contact me or whatever, I'll pay you back to collect the original, the old one, and give you the new version of the book I have read. Like I said, it's everywhere books are sold in the market arena. It has about 104 pages, including about the author. It has some experiences I had and the communication I had with the Holy Spirit about the bread. So that's number one. Number two, I would like you to look at is to read this book. This book is one book I read that made an impact in my life. It made a very big, and for me to tell you everything about this book, it would take hours, even up to days. It's written by, again, I don't get credit for this. I'm just referring you for you to read. I'm not getting any credit or any financial benefit from referring this book. But this book made an impact in my life. It's written by Marcia Angel. It's called The Truth About the Drug Companies. The Truth About the Drug Companies by Marcia Angel, MD. The ISB, I can give it to you, but obviously ISB number is 0375 508 46-5. That is the number. Again, it's sold. I bought this book. It's talking about, I'm going to give you a quick summary of what it's talking about. It's talking about the drug industry and how individuals are being manipulated by the drug industry. I can say practically that half of Americans are on medication and everybody is affected by a drug of one kind or the other. This book goes into detail on so many things that goes out before drugs are being sold to the marketplace. The manipulations and the marketing strategy that the drug industry use to convince people to buy their medication. So if you read this book, you can get a bigger picture why I publish my own book, which is the main purpose I'm going to tell you. This one is my book. It's titled MBC Association Nutrition, of course, by my name here. And it's about 295 pages. And it has over 500 known medication or supplements for treating different nutritional remedies. I'm gonna call it, for the legal purpose, nutritional. As I am not a medical doctor, I can prescribe and I can recommend prescription medication. So, but this book has over 500 known natural remedies for treating every ailment in the marketplace. I will implore you to read this book. And what I'm doing now, like I said, I'm going to make sure this time you're spending here is going to be meaningful with you. When you buy this book is being sold in Amazon for under $100. I think it's about $70 or $80. Money you use for a breakfast in the morning or maybe for a cab. Just get a copy. And when you get this book, if you contact me, what I'm gonna do exclusively for those who come to this presentation, if you like, that's why I said if you get it, if you can be able to get this presentation, you are in a lock. If you get this book, any medication, any of the supplements in this book that you choose, I'm gonna manufacture it to your own unique specification with your own name in the label. Any of the 500 known nutritional supplement in this book that you chose, when you buy this book and contact me, that you bought it through me, I will manufacture that any particular one. It's a lot. For me to go through this 500, it may take up to 2 or 3 days, and I don't have time for that right now. But I just want you to get this book, look through it. I'm sure you find something here that you really like or want. If you get it, just get in contact with me. How to find me is not going to be difficult. If you spend some time in Google, you find everything about me. Reach me, say you got a book and you wanted me to manufacture your nutritional supplement. I'll do that for the first 100 people, free of charge. Let me put it that way so that people don't hold me in. For the first 100 people that contact me about this offer, I manufacture it for you. For any remedy you pick here, free of charge. And this is very, very good. Because why do you want to manufacture your destiny? Because if you read the other book I told you about, the truth about the drug industry, let me give you a glimpse. You know why it is very good for you to manufacture your own supplement, because there are so many ingredients they put on the drug that are actually detrimental to your health and there are so many, like the title of the book is, I'm just giving you a glimpse. I don't know if the camera can pick it. It's a $200 billion industry. What goes into a process before a creation of drug goes into place? How much does the pharmaceutical industry really spend to bring the drug to you? Just how innovative is it? What are the ingredients? Where do they get the chemicals they use to do the drug? Are those chemicals good for your health? The hard sell, the marketing, masquerading, the educational part of the destiny, and the patent game, the game they do with the patent game, that's even a bigger thing. That is when they manufacture this drug, they have to protect it for a certain period of time, usually 10 years or less. And they have monopoly over that drug until after those periods, before they can even allow the public to compete or whatever, or make that drug available as a generic. And within those 2 periods, only God knows what is going on and how much profit they're making out of this. All this thing is the reason why, if you go through my book, you see, the issue I'm trying to do is that this will open your eye. When this book opens your eye, you find treasure in this book. You may not find treasure in this book until you read this book. This book is going to tell you much more detail about what I'm talking about. It's like an black and white. If you read this book, you get a bigger glimpse of the whole truth. Then when you get this book, you'll be very appreciative. You see, that's why I put the contrast in. I didn't publish this book. I don't get credit for even referring you to read the book. I don't know the author. Probably the author doesn't know me. But I'm just giving you because he's saying a very, very, very good information that will help you to see the value in this book. Another thing I'm going to share today, which is also very important, is that I believe in we are what we eat. And another book said that you are what you think. I believe that both of them are correct. A man is known by what comes out of his mind and the structure of his medulla, perception and how he reasons. And thought is very powerful. I can tell you there's 1,000 books out there that have been written about the power of thought. I've read quite a few of them. And those 1,000 authors, they're not saying rubbish. They know what they're talking about. It is absolutely true. Thought is very, very critical. If you can know how to think, the origin of fact, everything that is worthwhile on this earth started with a single thought. And that's why thought is very, very powerful. And that is also why it's difficult for most people to control their thought, because usually what is good is not that made easily available. On the same token, health-wise, I believe that we are what we eat. We are definitely what we put on in our mouth. And that leads me to my next book, which is Recipe for good nutritional, and I call it my legal food recipe. That's the name of the book. It's also available anywhere books are sold, and it has even the pictures of most of the recipes that I encourage people. And why is this so important? Why do you even care? Because good health is more than wealth. And being that what you think, what your thought makes you, and what you eat also make you physically. Otherwise, it matters to consider, to think of what you eat. And this book gave you a little, it's divided into different areas. It has different sections for those suffering from different diseases, how they can at least reduce their ailment by controlling what they eat and eating nutritional and well-furnished food. And this book goes into detail about it. You can see all my books are all about living longer, living healthy, living well. Living longer, living healthy, living well. I started with the Word of God, which is the beginning and the fundamental. I've told you about the good effect of having a good supplemental after reading the other book. At this point in time, I'm talking about the nutritional effect. This book is a treasure. Like I gave you offer on the other book too. If you buy this book, like I said, it's everywhere books are sold in Amazon. If you can get a copy of this book and contact me, for the first 100 people again that contacted me, I'll send you a digital copy of this. And not only that, if you are living in the Washington, D.C. area, one of my team can even show you how to prepare any of the food here. They will come to you. They do whatever possible to show you, for those who don't know how to prepare the food. And I'm not saying this is a joke. There's a lot of people, a lot of women who don't know how to cook. My team will come to you or make arrangement to show you how to prepare any of the recipe mentioned in this book. It's about 200 pages of different nutritional recipes. Some of them are wasted in your kitchen now that you can learn from this book. Again, this one of my big offer that I'm making at this presentation, valid only at this moment. Last but not the least in my presentation is, of course, this book. This is becoming an epidemic in America. A lot of American men have issue with the erection function. In fact, a lot of men are dying. And again, I know this may be like, I'm not gonna, the reason why most divorces, again, that's my personal opinion, and again, I stand to be corrected. I think most divorces, the cause of their problem is unsatisfactory sexual relationship. Most, if not the core reason why, because if a woman is being satisfied, most women will stick it out with their men, no matter what. The reason why they leave or they try to leave because they can't get it. And most of the men don't know what the problem is or how to solve it. This little book has more detail, and that goes in hand again with the other two books that I mentioned earlier, which talk about food, and the other one again, which talk about health, nutritional health. Because if you can get all these three books combined together, everything you need for life, for a good health, at least you got majority of it. So this book is also you can read it in one stand. It's very small in copy. It's about 57 pages of content. But you're not gonna get everything. I'm not gonna promise you. It's sold about $10 on the market arena. You may not get much fat in this thing, but where I'm gonna direct you, what comes with this book is where the treasure is. This book comes with a consultation with me. For anyone that bought this book, you have access to have my one-on-one consultation to advise you on any specific unit or any question you have. I usually, even though I'm not gonna be here with you, I'm usually charged thousands of money for one-on-one consultation for my time. But if you bought any of this, especially this book, because of the privacy involved, you may not like to do it. If you need one-on-one consultation with me, I'm gonna provide it to you free of charge. And that's for the first 100 people again, because I can't just throw it out here, otherwise I'm gonna be overwhelmed. For the first 100 people that responded, bought this book, that needed one-on-one consultation on erectile dysfunction. Most of you know what the erectile dysfunction is. I'm not gonna be going into that detail. It's so many nuances and so many effects, so many categories, so many patterns. It comes in different form and shape, but that's not the purpose of my message. If you don't know what erectile dysfunction is, Google it. If you probably don't know it, then it doesn't affect you. Those who know what is the problem is, understand what I'm talking about. If you're having that issue, grab one of these books and contact me. I'll give you a one-on-one in thorough detail based on personal experience. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed physician. I'm not a lawyer. Everything I'm showing here, everything I'm teaching here is based on years of experience, years of using myself as a guinea pig, if I may put it that way. What I have tried myself that has worked for me, that definitely I believe if you try it, it may work for you too. That's what I'm offering. So to round it up, I believe we have rounded up all 3 books, actually 4. These are the 4 core books. I can say it all. The other one is not published by me, but it has a good information that will make you to understand one of these my books. So it's 4 core. If you contact me, I'll give you a special deal if you want all of 4 of them. But if you don't want to, it's everywhere books are sold, including Amazon. Get them, get a special treat, get a digital copy. Also, be one of the first 100 people to get a consultation with me one-on-one. I believe that's more than a special gift for a Christmas. As we are rounding up, by the time we go to next year, 2024, I'll be making this video specifically. As I combine it this time around, I'm gonna be spending more time per each one only per video. I'm not gonna be combining them, so I'm gonna be talking specifically for each book in detail in this coming year. But I just want to give you like a 9-foot overview of what is going to be happening in 2024, sorry. So I just give the general perception of the books that are ready so far. Other books have been published, but they're already on the market. There's a couple of books also on the pipeline, but I'm not going to say it now until it's published. But when they publish, you will hear about it. But this already one, I'm going to go into detail. But for now, this is a special deal that I'm making as a Christmas gift, as a New Year present for you as we rounding up this year, 2023. This is what I for those who say, what do I do? How do I make my money? Not only do I make money by selling these books, I'm not gonna be exaggerating. These books, each of these books give me a couple of hundreds every month. Multiply them by a year. These are where I spend my time. And these are my multiple streams of income, excluding my regular job. For those who like to ask me, what do I do for a living? That's my answer. There is something else also I want to share today while I have the time. I believe I do have a few minutes left. It's about a book I read. I just picked up this book on one of the stores. It's talking about again, I don't get credit for referring this book. This is a mini series of cases of murder and how they were caught. It has about 40 new cases. It's currently on any book stand. It's published by, I think, Women's World. Again, I don't get credit. I don't know them. I'm not their representative. All right and copyright credit to the people that produce. I'm not taking their credit or any part of their copyright. Again, I'm not the publisher of this book. But there's something they say here that is quite interesting that I want to share. I've been able to go through about the 40 series of murder cases enumerated here, and how the culprits were caught. You can see it's 40 new cases. What they were saying here is that they show crime scene. They give you a history of a crime. When a crime is committed, when all of them is murder, all the 40s has to have something to do with murder. And when they tell you a story of a murder, they tell you how the detectives, the police, the reaction, how the detectives or the investigative police were able to apprehend the culprit, the person that committed the crime. And there's a thin line in everything they were saying here is like, most of the time, what led them to solving that murder crime is very little thing that are usually very negligible. Very tiny information. Something that you will ordinarily not believe that is what cracked the code. You know, there's so many crimes here that took them 4 to 5 or even 10 years to crack. And how they solved it was very simple thing that you will never have believed that this is what led them to solving that murder crime. And each of them wow you. It is very amazing. So when I read it, I was like, this is good. But why am I saying all this here now? Why am I presenting this? The reason why I'm saying this is like, I work as a correctional officer. I'm a correctional officer. I've been doing this job as a correctional officer for, like I said, over 2 decades. They are selling 40 murder series of solved murder series for probably about $10 on the market arena. But I have access based on personal experience of over 1,000 similar. From hands-on, that information that over the years that I've, through reading books, through my interaction or through whatever, both in Africa, I work through different jails. I work even in Washington, D.C. I work other states. I work at my age, with the years I spend in the public safety, I have over 1,000 information. People consult me to some extent if something happened to them, to get a clue or what must have been happened. But these people are selling 40 similar information for about $10. So I'm gonna be putting a series, free of charge, a series of all the modern mysteries I have learned over my years as a career officer. Minimum of them going to be 1,000. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be 40. I'm going to put it together, type it up in a digital form, in a PDF file or whatever, Word document. And any of you that want to, I'm going to use this as a gift to the society, a payback. I'm not going to make money out of that. They are making money, but I'm not making money out of it. So, but I'm just going to tell you, why am I showing this like I did before? I'm showing you the value of what you get it. If you can pay $10 for 40 similar series, remember again, these are detailed investigative report of how crime is solved. Imagine what the 1,000 of them can do for you. It will be a treasure that you can keep, that you can be like a reference point tomorrow. If something happened to you, where to start? Things that you need to look into immediately that are critical, that you may not, ordinary people may think are intangible to the crime, that are necessary to ascertain, to lead you to the whoever. Because one thing I can give you one secret though, when crime is committed, nobody wants to be caught. And usually because they don't want to be caught, their action is always in a haste. They want to do it very fast and they want to run away. And because they want to run away and they don't want to be caught and they want to do it very fast, they usually leave clue behind. That is why it's critical that when the crime happens, response team come on time. There's critical information on the crime scene that usually solve the problem before it's contaminated. Because most criminals, trust me, no matter how hard they are, they don't want to be caught. They want to run away from the crime scene as soon as they commit it. And they leave lots of clue behind them, thinking that nobody's going to find. And that's why the earlier you come to that area, the more you can find the clue or to solve the problem. Again, 40 murder cases being sold for $10. I'm giving away 1,000 of them free of charge for being my loyal followers, thanking you for your patronage, thanking you for all you do, thanking you for being with me all these 2 more years, and many more things gonna come. This is just a roundup of what I have to offer, and I'm using it as a New Year message and a well-wishing message for this coming 2024. There's a lot of things in the pipeline. I'm gonna be doing this presentation more often now, unlike before. For the past almost 12 months, I haven't done a video. Most of you know I've been very quiet, but I promise you, by January 2024, I will not be quiet anymore. I'll be presenting all this series of things. Any of these things I presented to you that you resonate with you, that you want. In as much as I want the money, I want you to pay for it. But if you don't have the money, just contact me. The worst scenario, I give you the digital copy. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody that come here. And if you have any question, somewhere among this video, somewhere, I don't know how I'm going to put it, but along the line, you're going to see it in the top, on the bottom, on the left, on the right, you're going to see a link, or whatever. If you click it, you're going to schedule it. It will give you a couple of options. Email me, schedule, be on my calendar, schedule a one-on-one consultation with me, or have more information presented to you. Thank you so much. I hope this few 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, has been the most wonderful moment and I hope I've given you value. And for those who wanted the digital copy, contact me. I'll send you the digital copy for any of the books. It's the one that I published, that I presented to you today. Thank you so much. Be blessed.